What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Wu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm sitting here actually at my new sports desk here and still getting all the bugs out of it and getting everything set up. We have our live stream coming up in about an hour from now, and it's getting to be that silly season of the NFL where we're hearing all of these crazy trades and stuff. We're hearing that the Cowboys are trading for Mike Evans. We're hearing, of course, that Odell Beckham Jr., of course, is, pretty much the Cowboys are talking about that. And that the Cowboys are drafting C.J. Stroud. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about how to tell if these things are legitimate or if they're just straight bullshit. Just remember something about the Cowboys. The Cowboys and Catboy, aka Stephen Jones, who says, "We believe in our guys." The last guy we traded for was Amari Cooper, in which case they decided, even though he was playing well, we're going to get rid of him for nothing. Big name free agent signings last year. Let's see. James Washington, Dante Fowler, and Ryan Kalady. Those are the big ones we made before training camp. So, chances of the Cowboys doing a whole lot, chances of the Dallas Cowboys going up in the draft to try and take the number 2 prospect at quarterback from the 26th spot, a guy who will be drafted in the top 5, I would say the chances of that happening would be you winning a $2 billion lottery twice. That's how confident I am that that's not going to happen. But here's the thing that's interesting because, teams are beginning to make moves and adjustments and stuff in salaries because come the 15th of March, each team needs to be under the cap. Yeah. And we have some teams like Tampa Bay, which is $56 million over, and worse than them was the New Orleans Saints. Until the New Orleans Saints did exactly like they did last year. So we're told that, you can't spend money. You can't spend money because you're going to be in cap hell. Well, New Orleans was like $73 million over the cap last year. They ended up getting under the cap, signing some players, and then this year they were 65 over. Now, now, as they said at this moment, they're only about 54. Here's what they did. The Saints converted $10 million of Eric McCoy, their center, who was scheduled to make $14 million this year. They converted $10 million of his salary for this year into a signing bonus and added a voidable year at the end of the contract, thus creating $8 million in cap space. Wow. That was genius. They didn't give him any more money. They just basically took some of his salary and said, this is a signing bonus. They ended up dividing that by the length of the contract. Oh, we're going to add a voidable year onto the end of it. So that means the number for this year is $2 million that they added towards it. So here's what's cool. They took a guy who was a $14 million hit, right? $14 million hit. And basically his salary for this year is $1.08 million this year. $3 million is considered the bonus money that counts for this year, for a total of $4.68 million for this year. So it's actually 12 something. Okay, my numbers are a little off, but you get what I'm saying. They created $8 million of cap space just like that by basically adding a voidable year and converting some of that to signing bonus. They can do that with the number of players. Dak Prescott, they can do that and not sign a long-term deal. It's going to end up helping you this year, but you'll end up having to make that money up down the road. You could actually do this with a person who I haven't heard anybody say anything about, but I have to believe that they believe in Michael Gallup. and look at the season that he just had and say, well, that's because he was recovering from his ACL. I'm sure that they believe that he is going to be in better shape. And that's another one of those contracts that you could go through. He's $13.8 million this year. You could do the same thing with Michael Gallup, add a voidable year onto it, and get his number down to a few $1,000,000 and grab some money there. And going down the line. The thing that you don't want to do is, like the Cowboys did last year, they restructured Zeke Elliott like they do every year last year, making him cost more this year. And then when you're starting to get rid of guys, fortunately, you've kicked all that money down the road, and now it's time to pay up because you are cutting them. So it is a delicate game, but don't let the Cowboys make you believe that they can't sign players if they really want to. If they really wanted to do things, and let me pull this up real quick. The Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys that are currently $7 million over the cap. They could go through and do that with Dak Prescott, get a big chunk of change whose cap number is $49 million. Take his guaranteed salary for this year and say, you know what? We're going to convert, $30 million of that into signing bonus money and make your hit this year about $20 million or less. You follow what I'm saying? DeMarcus Lawrence, you're going to almost have to because his cap number is $26 million. Zach Martin, which is like an every year occurrence, his base salary is $13 million. His cap number is 19. Tyron Smith, you need to cut, but you could do that with Tyron Smith. Zeke Elliott, I don't recommend doing that with Zeke because Zeke is at $16.7 million hit right now, but his money's not guaranteed. So that's the one that you look at and say, yeah, we can move him and not have as much pain. But Michael Gallup, his $11 million salary this year, convert $10 million of that and put another voidable year on there and basically get yourself $8 million on him. Dorrance Armstrong, a guy some people have been talking about, we could let go of him. And I'm kind of like, he had more sacks last year than any season that Randy Gregory had, and he's half the money per year. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But there is places here where the Cowboys can do this if they actually want to try and get some players. And, we have all talked about the Cowboys needing to upgrade wide receiver, the offensive line, secondary and things. We haven't heard the Cowboys or seen the Cowboys actually make any moves. And that's the bottom line is they can do anything they want to do. The question is, do they want to do anything? All right, I will see you guys here in about an hour. Peace.